What's good, everybody? Supernova796 here, and today we are having a ban list discussion video. I know I'm a little late to the topic, but I wanted to give the ban list some time to settle, to hype to die down, which, you know, for YouTube is actually the opposite of what you want to do. But I wanted to hear some other opinions, and before I could forge my own, instead of just, you know, just cracking down on my initial response. On Twitter, which you can see just kind of doing numbers here. So we are going to start off with the forbidden list. First up, Link Kuriboh, RIP to my boy. He was the #1 Link in almost every deck. If your deck had a level 1 in it, you ran Link Kuriboh. Link Kuriboh just stopped attacks. They had to swing with one monster before another, so you took significantly less damage. But it is a card that helps Snake Eyes pull off some massive bullshit. So I can see why this got hit. I would have personally gotten more Snake Eye cards on the not so much forbidden list, but just on the list in general. But I can see why Link Kuriboh got hit. RIP to my boy, he was a real one. Next up is Baron de Fleur. I've seen some mixed opinions on this. I have posted on Twitter saying, hey, I'm dumbfounded that finally, after so long of us, you know, wanting these cards to be available to the public, to be accessible to the people who can't afford to just drop $100 on a single card, we finally get that, and then they just ban it outright. So I'm still miffed about that. I still hold true to my opinions about that. However, one problem that I've said Yu-Gi-Oh has had is the fact that there are too many just generic Omni Negates. And what I mean by that is that Baron de Fleur is not strictly into the de Fleur archetype or requires certain materials to get it out like Chaos Angel. Baron de Fleur works in any deck. Any deck that can make a level 10 synchro is going to run Baron de Fleur. It is a must-have in any deck, and you don't need multiples. You just need the one Omni Negate. It will always be a problem once it hits the board. So yes, it sucks that we finally got Baron de Fleur from like $45 at its cheapest to like 10 cents at its cheapest, but it is what it is. It's for the betterment of the game, in my opinion. If we can get more Omni Negates that are strictly in another archetype, and if Baron has to be cut, it sucks, but I'll live with it. Warlord Savage is kind of in the same realm, but he's not nearly as busted. Dragon Link just took a massive hit by losing Warlord Savage Dragon, and not every deck, I believe, runs him. Like, between Warlord and Baron, you're going to run Baron every time because it's much more generic. It doesn't get its Omni Negate based on how many counters is on it, whereas Warlord, you need to have the counters on it. Warlord and Baron together was a deadly combo. That is 2 Omni Negates per turn, which is insane. So some people say it got astray. I can see where their argument here. I don't think it would have been necessarily needed to be hit on the forbidden list, but I do feel like with the way Konami is going, there could have been some more shenanigans involving Dragon Link or just dragons, whatever you have you, to where this card would be insanely busted. So it getting a strafe, maybe. Is it for the betterment of the longevity of the game? Probably. Finally, new to the forbidden list is Summon Limit. I have said time and time again that control decks are the best way for budget players to run the game. Does that make it good? No. Summon Limit is an insanely unfair card. Even if you have it limited to 1, once Summon Limit hits the field, your options are very limited. And if you are running Summon Limit, odds are you don't need the multiple summons. You just need the 2. That's like Kashtira. Though it's not ideal to only summon twice on a turn in Kashtira, you can still do a lot with a Fenrir and a Unicorn on field. That's a deadly combo if I've ever heard of one. So Summon Limit sucks for control players, sucks for budget players trying to keep up with the meta, but it's gotta go. I'm just gonna be honest with you, it's gotta go. Next up to the limited list. Anytime I do these ban lists, there's like cards that come back that were before my time coming back in 2020, so I just don't know how busted they were, or I just don't pay attention enough. And one of those is Magic Spectre Unicorn Kieran. However, I do say, I do see on the effect tab, cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. It seems busted for Magic Spectres, honestly. I don't know how this is going to affect the game, but I do know that when I see cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects or cannot be targeted, that is a body that is just going to stay on the field and it's probably going to cause problems. Arch Nemesis Protos, again, this is one of those monsters where it's like, I don't really know why it got hit to begin with. I could do the research, but I like to go in blind, being like, okay, I don't know what this card does, but I'm interested to see how it goes into the ban list later on. So, I don't know, it could be some funny plays here. Next up is Tidal Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls. We are slowly but surely getting all the Dragon Ruler cards back. Konami taketh, but then Konami giveth. They take away the Borlord Savage Dragon for Dragon Link, but then they give them Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls. Dragon Rulers, I don't know if they've been, power crept when they come back at full power, but unless I'm mistaken, I think if this isn't the last one we needed unbanned, this is the second to last one that we needed unbanned in order to get all Dragon Rulers back in the game. And that being said, it just kind of seems that maybe they've been power crept to come back into the game and become relevant again. I don't know. I was out of the game around when Dragon Rulers came out. Now, in my opinion, the biggest unban of this fucking list is Thunder Dragon Colossus. I was out of the game when this card was released, but I know why it got banned. This card is insane. Like, I tried buying a copy of Thunder Dragon Colossus when the ban list first got hit. I got in my card 3 separate times, and all 3 times it got refunded to me, dog. Now, that being said, I did manage to get one, and it's coming in, and I do want to make a Thunder Dragon deck for locals down the line and possibly make a video about it. But holy shit, this card being off the ban list? Are you fucking kidding me? They got rid of one floodgate and put in another. This thing is a on-board draw and lockbird at all fucking times. The next one is Chicken Game. Chicken Game is very interesting to me because it's just a field spell that lets you draw once per turn. You can also activate, both players can activate its effects. You can draw a card, you can use its effect to destroy itself. There's a third effect that I'm not remembering right now. I think that there's going to be some shenanigans done with this and Ancient Fairy Dragon. I'm pretty sure that's why they both got banned to begin with. Like, even though Ancient Fairy Dragon is hard once per turn and it has to bring out a different field spell, this is just a guaranteed, if you're playing Ancient Fairy Dragon, play this, draw one Fairy Dragon, destroy it, get another field spell out that you actually wanted. Anti-spell Fragrance being from unlimited to 1. Honestly, I am not mad about this. The less the floodgates we have, the better. It is at 1. It's very annoying. It's a very annoying trap to have to deal with. And if you manage to get rid of one and they have another one set, what are you going to do about the second one, Onoki, huh? What are you going to do? So I am actually kind of glad that this went down to 1. I think it's a floodgate that's like a necessary evil kind of thing, especially with those decks that just unload spell cards and do all that kind of good shit. So I think this is I think this might be something that is going to dissuade Snake Eyes players to go full in on their combos and stuff like that, because they're not going to be able to get anything on board. Moving on to the semi-limited Armageddon Knight in Purely Delicious Memory. Now, I have not looked into the Purely archetype as much. I am not super into Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I like the game, don't get me wrong. I mean, you've seen all the videos I've done about the game. I like the game. But as far as the competitive side, I don't look into it all that much. I do know that Purely players are eating. They are eating. This card was what? Limited before? Was it limited before? Let me check. Purely. Oh, that spelled it wrong. Sleepy Memory. No, it went down. Oh no, Delicious Memory. Yeah, it was limited and it went back up. Okay. I was about to say, did I miss something here? But no, it went back up to 2. Purely players are going to be eating, and I think this is going to make Purely a relevant deck again. Like, not saying that they weren't relevant before, but they kind of, died off a little bit after Delicious Memory got down to 1. This is going to bring it back into the spotlight a little bit, in my opinion. Armageddon Knight. I don't really have opinions about this card. I never see this card played. I'm gonna be honest with you, Chief. I never see anybody playing Armageddon Knight. Now that it's at 2, maybe people will start playing it more. Maybe it'll see a little bit more spotlight, but I never see people playing this card. It's kind of like whenever they unbanned Yatagarasu. Yes, it was a big deal because Yada had been banned for over 10 years, maybe even 20 years at that point. But people don't play Yada like it's not a thing people play. It's a very niche thing that's been power crept out the wazoo. So I think Armageddon Knight kind of fits in that same boat, but it's more meta. It can be more meta relevant, I don't know. I never see people playing Armageddon Knight to begin with, so I don't think it's that big of a semi-limit. And finally, the unlimited list. First up, my boy Destiny Hero Malicious. Let's fucking talk about it. So Heroes is an actual archetype that I really like to play. Destiny Hero Malicious is at 2. Banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon a Destiny Hero Malicious. I know that there are plays with this. What was it? I was watching a video about this because I was like, why is it at 2? But there's an actual card that came out that warranted this thing being at 2, so that way you couldn't do any shenanigans with it. That I forget what card it was. That strategy might come back. Also, this thing's gonna be great link fodder because the special summon from the deck is not once per turn. So you get this card to the graveyard. You can use well, I was gonna say you can use Destiny Fusion, but that locks you into Fusion. So you get this thing to the graveyard, activates Fick, banish, special summon, link, bring it out, activate again, banish, special summon another Malicious, and then link again into a higher link monster. It's just you can make some link plays with it. Heroes, I don't see them running more than 2 of this. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I don't see Heroes playing more than 2 because we have been drilled to the point of playing 2. Now, not saying that they can't play 3 of this card now. I'm sure that there are some decks that people are gonna theory craft. I want to see if I can't theory craft at hero deck with Malicious at 3. But it seems like one of those cards that it's better at 2. You know what I mean? Because after you banish the one and you do what you need with the other one, what else is there to do? What you wanted Malicious to do is already done. So, other than some weird like link plays, I don't see this card getting any like higher rank than that in any other deck. Orcust Harp Horror. Again, another archetype that's just out. I know I have friends that are freaking out about the Orcust being at 3. I think it came off the original ban list, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it was like banned and it was at 1, and now Konami, I think that was it. I could be, actually no, isn't Harp Horror that weird dragon thing? Okay, yeah, this thing. It recently came off the ban list and now it's back. That's interesting. Okay. So yeah, I guess Konami thinks it's okay at 3. I know that Orcust, like, that's the card that when it got banned, killed Orcust as a deck. But now that it's back, Orcust might make a resurgence in like the, I wouldn't say it's gonna be like, you know, S tier or tier 1. It might be tier 2 rogue, somewhere in that range, but I think Orcust is gonna come back really strong. Speedroid Terratop being back, I don't care about Speedroids. I'm gonna keep it a stack. They're a great wind archetype. They're a great synchro archetype if you want to get certain monsters out. Other than that, I don't know much about them. I don't care, to be honest with you, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. And finally, Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. Why do I know about this card, and why do I have enough of an opinion to talk about this card? Because there is a player at my locals, shout out to Scott, he won't shut up about fucking Sky Striker. That is his all-time favorite archetype, and he saw this and he would not shut up about it. The reason Sky Striker Mobilize Engage was at 1 to begin with was because they recycle spells so often. That's Sky Striker's whole thing, is use a spell, it's in the graveyard, Sky Striker, put a spell back in your hand, put it back in your hand. And Mobilize Engage is not at once per turn. You can activate as many of these things in a turn as you want. That being said, I think Sky Strikers, because of Engage, is skyrocketing in the competitive sphere. Again, I think it's going to be kind of like Speedroids, where they're not going to be tier 1, but they're going to be like, it's going to be tier 1 rogue. They're going to be like right there, right? They're going to be right at the line after this. Unless they get like some new crazy support later down the line, which they very well could. But I don't know what Konami's cooking back there. Sometimes they have different chefs, right? One of them, you know, you let them cook. You, no matter what, he's cooking. Then you have the chefs that's like, they don't need to be near the stove. You get what I'm saying? So I think Sky Strikers is going to become pretty relevant in the competitive sphere once again, now that Engage is at 3. And that is my opinion on the current ban list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you agree with my takes? Do you hate my takes? Do you hate me? Do you like my videos? Please watch other videos. I do Yu-Gi-Oh and other stuff, but a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. That being said, I'm gonna get up out of here. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, comment, think of the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, subscribe helps series hosting as a whole. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.
Take bars, little man.